Вот регистрация.
Говорите второй. Первый.
Пожалуйста.
Я еще Ангелину вы ее не видели? Не, я даже
For those of you who have been here yesterday, I'm sure you met most of the hosts. Today, just to get things started, I'd like to invite two very special people. The president of the National Business Angel Association, who runs the Business Angel Association of Russia. Also highly recommend you speak to them.
Presentations. In some cases, we see the creation of new business angel association. Most of you again are in Moscow. For many of you, it's the second time, especially to the members and major public entrepreneurial organization. At the same time, thanking our sponsors and partners.
It's a strange thing because sometimes I send emails 4 a.m. Moscow time. Yes, but we will not be far from seeing that typical. We can see a lot of cooperation in the future between angel networks. In reality, the economic impact of the angel crowdfunding platforms. Imagine a business angel network that is in around 40%. So we can do crowdfunding from the rest of like to say so much. First thing is to congratulate Unreal Angels. So I see crowdfunding as a provider of a lot of investors for our community. University and our congress that will be held in Dublin next May, so for which you are all invited to Europe as a whole. If you see, I don't know if you know, Ange Rosling is a guy that studies. So Russia has a lot of potential for angels, but I think has a strange thing because sometimes we are choosing the right targets and if the people are answering correct or not. We have members in 35 countries. We have
To be in Russia, we are in the biggest most interact with our colleagues, with our investors. I see many familiar faces here from different cities, including Moscow. There are a number of good size, number of good investors, number of good interfaces, including the city hall, private investors, private funds, or from regions that have a good event.
Formula of good investment. Good investment is good technology, good team, and good business model. Father of the product. And when the founder, great example, few other local things, but not so many. They believe Russia is a great country, and it's a great technological country, which is true. The company heavily depends on how the founder behaves. Engineers, mostly in software space, but we can also answer that, is that each founder of a startup has basically 3 hats. And if you go to Harvard and visit the Quantum Institute, you can see those hats. And at some point, when startups grow, you have to make some decisions. It may ruin the company. So you need to make sure from the very beginning that before investment, why should I wear shareholders' hat? I mean, I appreciate freedom more than money. And that gives them some special stand in front of the investor. That gives them some special attitude. You need to understand that. So those 3 hats kind of can be.
Yes. Yes. You're right. $20 billion. How to starting to take part in this customer lower, making such business visions, this kind of trips, procedures to the SMEs. $20 billion. That's take the SME support agency of Moscow government, and I was quite surprised being invited here. Where we can help them, especially
they try to behave in Western style manner. So they try to learn from USVC.
Make some good shifts, good changes to the more progressive ways to make these governments to present their goods for their. The second direction is helping, supporting expert-oriented company. It's called so. Me and Costa, we're always trying to make some very loyal to the startups. They do not require such high assets to
So they all went there. I mean, Michelle's one of made $1 billion on $1 so I want to do that too. So they found
the audit for the readiness.
Another question: how angels and bees?
Advice that we can give to the teams with the idea that startups can get those trajectories to help them to understand how to grow, how to implement this.
the company now, he's shareholder, he's famous as Angel, he's now, I think, moving towards VC stage, and many other examples.
So some services, not the money. Services like you can see here. Yes, it's free spaces, some
other things, like sales pay, oil and gas. So now we became very fashionable to invest at Western Europe sometimes. Like in our portfolio, it's only about 60% of the companies are originated in Russia. 40% is such as Human Capital is one of those, Mass Capital, Passport Capital.
and supporting programs to getting the finance. It's
a window of opportunity for you to look at. Very specific.
money as well, with a quite low percentage. interesting and small, but the pre-seed stage.
It's already 40 members, and also I'm a member of FIBA, Finnish Business and yes, the private equity fund, so I know what does it mean. Potential investors from the West, like funds, like family offices, to find attractive and good.
Can and want to invest, which can be business angels, which can be family. They invest. They are not limited to this region.
Yes.
Because it's not always easy. It's Austria, Switzerland, Liechtenstein, south of Germany, and I hope I can.
How would you see, what are the value drivers? What are the... For instance, IPOs. Out of those 38 IPOs were there, do you think that...
Growing Russian companies, mid-cap companies, 26, 27, something like that. And not all of them are pure IPO. It could be something like...
From your perspective, and I'm not asking for exact numbers, but if we think about the
one is willing to sell and one is willing to buy. It's difficult. I assume that in the year, I would say, let's look for the last 3-4 years in Russia. Shall invest buyer, but without willing to sell, there's no deal. Buyer, financial or investor,
Actions between starting from 1 million to maybe 150 million. Yes, and we don't have those buyers, the Facebooks.
money makers, this is from my point. The reason.
Also taking equity stake in the companies that are in there, I think.
Which is the chief of all of this?
Thank you very much for the introduction. I probably will skip the selling part for a little bit about the model of Digital October and then startup and venture ecosystem events, educational programs, and some of the media partnership with the Moscow government and the Center for Innovative Development of Moscow, which resulted in this shown venture capital in Russia on the main business radio station. So we have a chapter of Founder Institute in Russia, which was
which is funded by engineers, PhDs.
And we have examples where we run TechCrunch Moscow conference, we run and produce Demo Europe conference. We found a fit with some of the Moscow government activities, and they were kind enough to rent the space. All the companies of the best private early-stage investors in IT startups in Russia. One of the best examples of such a successful private investor at the early stage. So that's the story, and basically now you inviting and selecting early-stage funds that really have experience in investing and then growing the early-stage IT startups. And Igor Reminki with his Altair fund. So we're not going to get 10,000 jobs created in the first year, so it's really a thing which will take a few years to really have the developers, have the offices, and they want to face the expensive location, not some which like Moscow City own. The sacrifice for a couple of days may be worth it. And I invite all of you to look at some of the.
Well, thanks for having me here, and I'm pleased to talk. Maybe to start off with the greenhouse. I had to put down accelerator, even though it's not a term that I like, because I don't consider that we are an accelerator. We're probably we're not an incubator. Incubators are very often associated with, free space, government.